months ago when he received his badge, although it had been much more than he had expected before that. Good eyed Grimsby's outfit and scoffed. "A while to go until Halloween, kid. Come back when you fit in Daddy's suit." He began to close the door, but Grimsby slid his foot in its path. He instantly regretted the decision as the man's idle strength nearly twisted his foot against the door's frame. Samuel Good was a lot stronger than he looked, though Grimsby supposed most Therians must be. He managed to choke his yelp into a more respectable grunt and drew his department badge, a bifold of leather with a pentacle embedded in a silver shield within and his name below. "I'm afraid I'm a real auditor, Mr. Good," he said, trying to keep his voice straight over the pain of a likely stubbed toe. "I just need a moment of your time." Good looked at the badge in disbelief, then back at Grimsby. "If you're a real auditor, where's your partner? I thought you guys never fly solo." Grimsby felt his stomach drop at the mention of a partner and bit back an unprofessional reply. Before he could come up with an appropriate substitute, however, Good glanced past him and an unpleasant grin curled his face. "Wait," he said, his smile wolfish. "Did you ride a bike here?" Grimsby tried to keep his face even, but felt his fingers squeezed tight around the badge as he put it away. He half expected it to crumple in his hand like cheap plastic. "May I come in?" Good sighed, though a smirk still littered his face. "Fine, whatever, Mr. Auditor." He opened the door wider and stepped aside. He wore a pair of stained cargo shorts and a t-shirt that had a sloppy, indecipherable logo on it, though it was of a style that looked to be for a heavy metal band. Now close to him, Grimsby could tell the odor he'd smelled outside had come from Good himself, and was even more pungent up close. Grimsby clenched his jaw but managed to keep his face straight and avoid wrinkling his nose. Who said he wasn't a professional? He entered, though the house was so dark it took his eyes a moment to adjust. Clutter was collected against the baseboards to either side of the short hall before him. Discarded wrappers, old shoes, dirty laundry, all of it with the settled manner of having been left in place for quite a while. The wall to his right fell off to an arched doorway with a darkened living room beyond filled with scattered cardboard boxes and piles of who knew what. Grimsby felt a brief flare of disgust before remembering his own apartment had looked quite similar not too long ago. What was quite different from his own abode, however, were the windows. Every pane of glass had been covered with layers of curtains, bed sheets held up by thumbtacks, and even glued on tinfoil. The few threads of light that managed to stray their way inside shone in the drifting dust like crossbeams. Good must have noticed Grimsby examining the source of the dimness. "The light gives me a headache. It's part of my condition," he said. "And no, I'm not a psychopath." "Oh, good, because that's exactly what a non-psychopath would say," Grimsby said, managing a smile. "No, Mr. Good, I'm here because you're my new zookeeper?" he asked. "Well, I wouldn't call it that. As you are a registered Therian, I'm here to ensure you're prepared for your coming period of mandatory asylum. I need to—" Good interrupted him in a stuffy voice. "Make certain I am ready for a period of stay lasting no less than 3 days, beginning no later than 24 hours before the apex of the lunar cycle, blah, blah, blah." He sighed bitterly, using his hand to mimic a sock puppet talking. "Yeah, kid, I've heard the speech before. Every month, actually, so yeah, I know why you're here. So, which is it?" Grimsby frowned, uncertain if he had missed some context. "I'm sorry?" "If you're here, that means you're on department house call duty, which means you're either the new guy or you drew the short straw. So, which is it?" "Well, he began, standing up a little straighter. "New guy, of course," Good scoffed. "Listen up, new guy. I know the deal, okay? I've been going to the cage since I was 13. I haven't missed it once, and I'm not going to miss it this time." Grimsby felt annoyance crawl into his jaw and prickle his scalp. He supposed he shouldn't have been surprised at the flippant attitude. Good was a Therian with a spotless record of asylum attendance. It was why the task to make sure he was prepared for the coming full moon was one of Grimsby's many dully routine duties. He would be annoyed, too, if someone with a badge showed up every night to remind him to brush his teeth. Though the attitude wasn't what bothered him.